Yeah, first of all, I'm proud of the team's fight today. Did a lot of positive things today in a tough environment against a good team. We just didn't do enough to finish the game off and win the game.
Penny, hearing what Josh just said, I mean, what do you feel like you need to do now?
Well, I need to play the people that care. Josh cares a lot, and then we saw that today. We're getting better. The first game kind of overlooked some things pretty much all season. Second game at Georgia, try to stick with some things. But it really just, our staff, we understand that we wanted the older guys to kind of help take care of this kid. When he says confusion, there shouldn't be any confusion when you come to a team that won the NIT championship last year, and you got returners that are here. They're supposed to help you along the way. And the biggest problem that we have at the University of Memphis right now is that our veterans aren't willing to help the young guys, and they're confused. So today we got better because we played the guys that cared more. And I could take a lot of great things out of this. We missed plenty of free throws. Even though we had 20 turnovers because of going one-on-one ball again at some points, we had 15 assists. So to me, we see the change happening with myself. It starts with me on putting the people on the floor that want to play the right way and that want to listen to the game plan for 40 minutes. We just haven't been getting that. And you can't have your own teammates being the opposition and then having to play against the next team. And then, the entire situation is just not, especially not fair for a 17-year-old, a 19-year-old, and a newly turned 18-year-old that play minutes. And I've been cheating Josh out of minutes to try to give it to the veterans. And they haven't handled that well at all because it's just been selfish, to be very honest with you.
You talked to me and Jason, and you kind of challenged those veterans to care more and be more about the team. I guess how would you assess how they kind of performed in that aspect today?
Well, when adversity hits, and adversity has hit 3 games in a row, it hasn't been positive from the chatter on the bench to what they say to teammates or anything like that. So now it's my time to activate and put us in the best mental state by playing the people who all want to be cohesive and be together on the court. It's sad that we have to talk about this, but it is what it is, and you go 0-3 when you're not together. But today was definitely, it was some positivity out of this. Josh basically was his coming out party today in a big game on the road and against an SEC team. And I'm locked in and focused on the guys now only that want to play for the city, that want to play for the school, and that want to help each other, cheer for each other, and help each other get better.
Is the end of the game the sequence there where you fought your way back into the game down 11? Should we look at the guys who were on the floor there? Is that reflective of or?
I think I went with guys that could, do the press. It definitely wasn't indicative of the guys that were all in from the beginning. It's self-inflicting wounds, man, are enough, but you got to have enough people to care. And unfortunately, like Josh said, we have as much talent as anybody in the country, but sometimes talent gets you beat when they don't want to work together. It's a tug of war right now in our locker room for who's the man. And the focus has left from the older guys, and the younger guys are really trying to pull it together and hold it. Imani, Jalen, Josh are trying to hold it together with a few veterans that really love this team. And I feel bad for them, man, because that's not how it's supposed to be.
Do you think everybody's too far gone?
No, because now if you just play the players that care, everything will turn around instantly. I really truly believe that. I haven't played the players that cared. I played the players who I felt like we had the best chance to win statistically, but I haven't played the players that are in cohesive or in a cohesive unit on the floor together as 5 guys. And that's on me.
As far as the guys who don't care as much, can you get them back? Do you think
we haven't been able to.
Right.
And we haven't been able to. It just is what it is. We just haven't been able to reach them.
You heard Josh say frustrated, anger. Safe to say that's how you're feeling right now, too?
Man, I took this job because I felt very confident that I could do well, and I have. Went out and recruited some really good classes. This is the best class I've had. The frustration comes from we give so much in practice. We give so much to these kids, and to see the game disrespected like that, to see these kids that are just so young to come in and they're basically begging for help from their teammates. To see that is kind of discouraging because, I know the city is hurting, I know we're hurting, and it's very frustrating to me being the guy that's the leader because I'm going to take the hits, and the biggest thing that I have to do is I've been way too nice to guys that aren't willing to buy in, and I just have to do what I have to do.
Hey, Penny, you have 6 days for your next game. Any changes or things you're going to do different or practice-wise or anything different in that time until you play next Friday?
I can say this with 100% sureness or 100% that there is 5 players on this team that if I was playing them the way that they should have been played, I really feel strongly we would be undefeated. I really feel strongly about that. We have a roster that has those 5 guys on it. Now I just have to move forward with it and not worry about anything else because we don't need to change anything offensively. Defensively, you just got to change the people and the mindset. You got to move them out of the way. And you play the people that care, then it's easier to go out there and compete and play better. As a staff, we're going to do better with that.
You said you're going to play the players that care. Usually when that happens, and things start to turn around, it can be kind of contagious on a team. I know you said that you haven't been able to get a few of those players back yet, but don't you think that can, or do you think that can kind of be contagious once?
I think we'll find out. We'll find out. Usually when adversity is hit this season, the negative guys go the opposite way.
Penny, you mentioned the young guys. Armoni has struggled. He struggled today. Had some war of words coming off the floor. I know that he's frustrated. You heard the overrated chants. How do you get to him? Because obviously he's such a big part of what you brought in. But the kid is 17 years old. So how do you get to him? Because obviously,
realistically, he's supposed to be a junior in high school. Honestly, age-wise, right? He, came to Memphis, didn't have his senior season, didn't continue to allow himself to grow as a human being first, not just a basketball player, because he's the best 17-year-old in the country, the world to me. Coming into the fold of things, when you're that good so young, sometimes it causes jealousy, and he's fighting the fans, he's fighting teammates, he's fighting everything, and how I'll talk to him all the time. He's a very mature kid, and all he wants to do is the right thing. So I can imagine the pressure that he's under, trying to prove to teammates, trying to prove to the fans, our fans, having to take the backlash from other fans and still be who he is, and all he is the hardest worker on the team in practice. He works out the hardest, and it's not happening now. I know he's coming, he and Jalen both, but I'm very proud of Armoni because he's fighting a battle that none of us would ever understand at 17 years old, with everybody being against him and not really taking them under their wings and showing them the right way.
With him coming off the bench, is that something I think you said on the radio that he had kind of approached you about, is that he feels more comfortable with ALO? How do you balance him wanting to do that, but you had started him in every game up to this point?
Yeah, I just want him to be comfortable. Whatever his mental state is, I want him to be there. I don't want to force him into doing anything that he doesn't want to do. And, like I said, none of us are in his shoes because 17, all of this pressure, it's got to be and then we're losing, and that on top of it is it's not good. We're gonna be okay, I promise you. The season is a long ways from being over. I'm very encouraged by this. Armoni's gonna be okay because I talk to him all the time. We're just gonna keep moving forward with the people that want to get it done. I promise you, we're gonna get it done.
Is there any chance some of these veterans are going to leave the team? It sounds like it's the schism that you described in the locker room doesn't sound great.
I'm not sure about that.
Jason. The Landers, Lester, and Jalen combined for, I think, 8 field goals today. Was that a product of what Ole Miss was doing, or?
I don't know. I think they had opportunities to do what they needed to do and just didn't. Jalen has to have the ball thrown to him, but those other guys are veterans. They know how to play. In our offense, they know where they're going to get their shots from. If they sprint the floor, they'll get open shots all the time. So I don't know why they only took 3 shots each and Lester took 2. I'm not sure.
Penny, how much of a difference did free throws make? How much of a difference did free throws make? I know you guys finished 23 of 37, but at some point late in the second half, it was 14 to 28. How much difference?
Yeah, in the first half, if we make our free throws, we're up at half. It's a totally different story, you know, and that's the encouraging thing about it. I just kept telling the guys, and then we started turning the ball over. You're missing free throws and you're turning the ball over, man. Self-inflicting wounds, but it made a big difference not making those free throws in the first half and in the second half.